guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So I'm carrying on from yesterday's video where I was colouring some beautiful fabric. Now this is all dry now, so I've got some laces and some seam binding. I got cheesecloth and I made these little flowers. So this is all lovely. Now this has come out. I just wanted to show you this. Now this is dry. I'll link yesterday's video down there. Underneath this one. It's lovely. I absolutely love it. I think that's come out really, really well. So really pleased with all of those little bits in there. But what I have been doing, because I've been trying to think of how I can make a vintage, you know, with all my vintage laces, but just like a fabric journal and not use paper for the pages. So what I have done, I've got this calico material, and I'd ordered this last week as a project because I've got another project I would like to do with this, and this is textile strengthener. Now this is just like fabric stiffener. That's all it is really. So this is water-based, and I gave it a little go this morning. It's supposed to take 2 to 3 days to dry, but we're lucky. We've got a bit of sunshine outside, and it dried really well for the pages. And all as I did was cut up or tear up some different size pieces. I think the journal is going to be sort of like roughly sort of this sort of size. I just sort of like, you know, ripped it up into sections, and I've stiffened it. Now I watered this down halfy, so half of this and half of water. It didn't say that. I think you're supposed to, if you want it really hard. This is for textiles, leather, paper. Oh, paper. Oh, that might be good. But it didn't say halfy, but I did water it down because I didn't want it to be rock hard. And I think it's really nice. It's quite strange to feel, actually. I've used this stiffener, a different one, years and years ago, but it's really lovely to sort of like play with it again. Now this is one that I ironed, and it went a little tiny bit softer, but it still came back to being quite rigid. And the other thing that I wanted to do was be able to sew through it, and you can. Now I've got my needle here. I've got a couple of needles because I'm going to do a little bit of something or other. No, I've got one. Look, I'm muddled up. I've got my beading needle, and I've just got my other needle. So, do you know what I mean? That just pokes through there really easy. I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to sew on it, but I can. So I've done those. I'm going to show you, I'm going to iron those as well. I've done a piece of this sort of netting, which has gone a little bit stiffer, which is quite nice. And I thought maybe that would go sort of like on the outside of the journal. I want this to be sort of like a little bit sort of scruffy and stuff. And then I've done these doilies, and look at that. These look like little frisbees. So I'm not quite sure whether they're going to be a bit too hard. I did water this down. I did wash this again, but it just came back stiff the same. So whether you put them in the washing machine and it can come out, I don't know, or whether that's it for its life of a doily. I'm not quite sure. This has come out quite nice. I like this. I wanted it quite hard because I want to make little pockets and bits. So, you know, I'm not 100% sure. This, look at this. This is just like a piece of plastic. I laid this piece down on, because it was only a little bit of a doily. And I lay it down on some plastic, and it's given it a shiny back. So it actually looks like a piece of plastic. So I've washed this again in the sink, and it's come out really hard. So I'm not really 100% sure on that bit. These bit have gone a bit stiffer, which are quite nice, which is quite nice pocket. So I'm sort of like torn between this. This has gone quite stiff, but this piece, I showed this piece to Andy, and he said it's like a piece of mesh. It's gone so hard that I'm not quite sure whether I want it to be that hard in a journal, if you know what I mean. Because these pages are gone quite stiff, I can actually sew the lace and this on without being this hard. So I'm not 100% sure on this stuff because it's gone like really hard. Really hard. So anyway, we'll put that to the side because what I would like, oh, I made a few other bits in here. Let me just show you. Look at this little flower. Isn't that just the cutest? And I got tiny little beads in there. Can you see that? They're tiny little beads. And I've just sewn a bit on the back. That was the pocket which I showed you yesterday. I made another little one like this. And then I made another little seam binding flower and just sewed in some little pearls, which I think is just so pretty. Now, the other thing I tried to do was do my butterflies on some fabric this morning. I have sticker paper like this. I normally just stick, this has got yellow back. I would peel that off and stick a piece of fabric to this and pop it through my printer. But oh no, my printer did not want to know this morning. So I gave up on that idea. I thought I'm not going to get myself frustrated. So I gave up on that. But I just want to show you these. So these are finished. These are the not butterflies, these are dragonflies. And they are on the same sort of, you know, same pitch, same sort of thing as our lovely butterflies that we've got. And they are just gorgeous. You know how hard it is to get sort of like dragonflies. So we've got 4 pages of 6. So we've got this one. We have this one. We have this one. And we have this one. Let me pull it further down. And we have then 2 pages. Now that's the smallest. That's the smallest. So we've done really tiny. And then this is the next size. So you've got 3 different sizes. And I'm just loving them. I really can't wait to use those. So I'm really excited about that. So we've got those. Those are in the shop in the moment. So do pop along there. And don't forget Ko-fi's. If you're a Ko-fi monthly supporter, you will automatically get 25% off all of our digital kits. So do make the most of that. Right, let me do this. Now, I'm going to show you, look. I've got my little iron and I've got just a little bit of felt down. Now, if you iron it, I'm going to just iron this because I just wanted to get a few of the creases out like that. I don't know whether you guys have actually... Oh, look what have I got on there. Oh, gosh. There's a little bit of something stuck on there. I'm going to just iron this, and it goes really kind of soft. Look, it goes back to being soft, but it will go hard again. So if you do that, leave it, and as soon as it cools down, it gets the stiffness back in it, which is really nice. So I'm just going to quickly iron these. Just give me a sec. Jessie's at my door. Okay, sometimes Jessie comes and scratches on the door. I have to close the door because George will be in otherwise. And he just meows and meows and meows until he gets fed, which he gets fed constantly. Always asking for food. So I'm just ironing it just to get a few of those little creases out. Going to fold it back in half. So guys, if you've got any tips and tricks on this fabric stiffener, I would love to know, because whether you like it as well. So look, I just think this is going to look really nice. I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to stick that in there. Let's just iron this a little bit. I'm not going to make it huge. I'm not going to make it big because obviously I've never done a fabric journal like this before. So I'm just going to make a small version and see what it comes out like. And I think they look quite nice, small anyway. You don't want it sort of like too big, because I want to sort of do a lot of sewing on the pages. Can you see this goes a lot floppier? This will just go on there like that. And then we've got a little journal that opens out. Okay, so I've got 6 pages. So what do we want? We'll have that little one in there. Not that it really matters, I'm just sort of eyeing it up because I'm going to do the pages separately anyway. Now again, of course, if you didn't have big pieces of fabric and you had small pieces, you could sew them together with a sort of like a fabric spine, which would look quite nice. So that one will go on there. So shall we have a little one in the middle? Should I put a little one in the middle? I was thinking as well, I'm going to just get rid of that. I'm going to turn my iron. Oh no, the other thing I wanted to show you before I turn my iron off, I'll do this first. This, I'm just thinking, would be quite nice along the bottom of one of these, wouldn't it? In there would be quite nice. That's quite a nice idea. So I'm going to take each one of these separately and sew things onto them. So I will make some bigger pockets, some more pockets. But look at that, that just looks fabulous on there, doesn't it? Not quite sure what we're going to put in the pockets. So these would go on, and then look at that. This is just like a little embellishment at the side of this page on there. I think this will be more of a decorative journal, obviously, more than, I'll put those in that box, more than anything else, because I think that's so pretty. Right, before I start on those, I'm going to show you something. You probably know this, but look, because these go, this is just like, it's like a little pancake, a really hard, stale pancake, that's what that is. I'm going to just iron this and make it soft, like so. And then I'm going to just, what have I got? I'm going to just take my glue, put this over the top like that. Just mould that so when it goes cool. Now again, this is probably an easier way to do it. You'd want it quite hard. It takes the shape, look at that. And I'm just thinking, look at that, that's gone really hard. And it makes less mess than trying to get a gluey thing over the top of something. But how lovely is that, seeing Easter's coming up, you could pop some little, because that's really hard, you could pop some little Easter eggs, little chocolate Easter eggs in there, pop a little bow on the side, or you've got like a little flower. And how beautiful will that be? Oh, I just think that's lovely. Could even put the bow on the inside so you could see it. Not the bow, the little flower. So I mean, how lovely. I'd love to receive something like that. I think that's beautiful. And then, if it didn't work out, you just iron it again and it goes flat. Oh, it's one of those things that if you've got an idea to do something with it, it's fabulous. But you need to have an idea of what you want to do. I think that's too hard. I don't know, guys. I might change my mind. Do you know what I mean? What would that look like as a page? See, then again, that's quite nice. I've got to get used to the stiffness of it, I think, because we're so used to nice, soft, fabricy things, aren't we? That, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's like a little taco, isn't it? Right. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this piece in the middle, this small piece, pop these to the side. I'm going to turn my iron off a minute. There we go. Pop that to the side. We don't need this bit. And then I'm going to move that up so you can actually see what I'm doing. Not that I know what I'm going to be doing, but I did actually take some of this out. I cut a few little pieces off, which I think this is going to be so pretty. I'm not using that. Changed my mind. I'm going to put this along here. Now I might just pin some of this so we've got an idea of what I'm going to be doing, so I'm not sort of like, you know, sewing. I will do the sewing later. Let's just put some of this together. Chop that off. That can go on there. Let me just get some pins. This was on the floor. What was that doing on the floor? Let's get some of these big ones. Look, I've got some really, really big pins on here, which I think will just pin along here like that, just so it gives me an idea of where to put things. There we go. So that, look at that, that will look really nice, won't it? Could do the smaller one in the middle, that's a bit too big. There's a little diddy one. Don't have many sort of small little pins, but that will go on there for now. That's lovely, isn't it? Okay, so that can be one page that can be sewn. This one I'm going to just add this in. I love this little pocket. Let's take this and there. I mean, you could sew something down through there as the middle, which would be quite nice. I quite like that idea. Maybe a little bit of that. What's this piece? Oh, that's a little piece. Would that work? Not quite long enough, but I think that would go in the middle, wouldn't it? Just sort of like build this up, whether that goes on top. Oh, I quite like that on top. So I'm going to also take some of this, take these off. So if I can just sort of sew that this way and just sort of just wrinkle it up a little bit. I don't want to, like always, I don't want to sort of think about it too much. I just want it to be quite go with what I have now, the feeling of making it. I'm going to actually sew this one. I did say I wasn't going to sew, but temptation is there. I'm going to hang that down just a little bit. Go underneath to hide that knot. Now, I'm not worried about seeing anything underneath it. Oh. Any of the stitching, because I think it's quite nice having the stitching on here, so you can see that it's actually been hand sewn on there. So some of it can just be sort of tacked on here. Let's go through there. Can always stick something on the back anyway. Pop that in. Oops. So this is where I get all my cotton all caught up. Let me just pull this one. I'm dreadful at sewing sometimes. I think it gets caught. There we go. Scruff that up. So guys, what's the last thing that you sewed? Did I ask you that yesterday? Can't remember. Because I think slow stitching is such a hand stitching, slow stitching, whatever you want to call it, such a relaxing thing to do, I think. Just watching yourself sort of like stitching. It's so nice. Where's that caught? And then I'm going to then just do things on each page. And then pop it all together, see how it would go together. So nothing majorly thought out. I don't think I want to really think it out. I just want to go with it. Because look at that. That looks really lovely, doesn't it? Just scrunch some of this up. As you can see, look, you've got the stitching on the back. It's not the best, but I can cover that up with something. Like that. So I don't really want to see the stitching on top of here as much. But it is lovely to do something like this. Like I said yesterday in yesterday's video, because I haven't been feeling 100%, I still have to do videos because if I don't get videos, it's like being self-employed, isn't it? If I don't work, I don't get paid. So I thought I would just do a nice something calming like this. This is why I didn't stress about the printer not working, because I thought, what's the point of stressing out? There's no point in stressing myself because it didn't work. So I just don't need it right now, so it doesn't really matter. We've got other things we can work on. So that's my idea. But yes, like I said, we have to, when you do YouTube videos, if it's your job, I have to sort of carry on doing it because it's like not working otherwise. But then I'm lucky because I do like making. Do like making different things. Pop that up. I did buy some new needles as well because some of my needles that I had felt very sort of thick. And the ends, they weren't quite sharp enough. And the ends felt really sort of like thick and heavy. So, I don't know where they are now. Here, this is the ones that I bought, which are lovely, the clover ones. They've got all sorts of different sizes in there, but they're really nice. They're really sharp and really nice. It's the same makers I use my beading needles. I need to put those in my little beady book, in my little needle book that I made. But it's so much easier to use when they're like that, isn't it? Do you know what I could have thought? I could have put this on the other side and had stitching like that, couldn't I? But that's okay. Oh, I like that. That's lovely. Pop that. Okay, let's just snip it at a little bit of an angle. Like that. If I do this now, then it's going to give me the idea of doing, you know, the edges of the other pages. Isn't it? Just pull that down. Just a little bit. Oopsie daisy. There we go. I've got it stuck. Now I've got it stuck. There we go. So I do have an idea. I didn't do a Shabby Saturday video this week, last week, because I wasn't feeling brilliant. But I've got an idea, and I'm going to be using this stiffener on there. So I will be using that. So I'll have a practice. I won't let you know what it is, but if you've got stiffener, or you know you've got stiffener somewhere, rummage it out because we're going to do a little project on Saturday. There we go. So let's just stick that in there. Snip that off. Look at that. That's fabulous, isn't it? So let's just do one page. Quite happy. I like that hanging off there like that. So I'm just wondering if I sew this and we didn't want to see the stitching on the back, I could probably cover it up with, where's that some of this, couldn't I? Would this cover it up a little bit? Not really. This would. I want to stitch it all. I'm not going to stick anything in it. Just where I could do a little fine stitch on there. So that comes down through there. And just sort of wrinkle this up and pop a little flower on there. I think I just want this to be pretty. I want this to be a nice pretty little project. So we've got this as well, which could go down there. But I will think of something in a minute. I'm not going to worry about that. So this can go then, can go on there. Was I going to put this over the top? Like that. Maybe I'll put these on when I put them together, because they'll have to go on the back. I think that's a bit too wide anyway. But yeah, that looks good. I like that. I'm going to just pin that on there. These are gigantus, aren't they? Let's just pin that on there. So that's on there. I don't want the other pocket on that one, do I? So let's take that one off. Let's put the other pocket on the front of this one. This is why I don't mind if it's sort of muddled up. So pop another little pocket on here. These are just so pretty. So pretty. Right, instead of putting, what's this? See, this is so hard. So hard. What do you think? Yeah, it's too much. Too much for me, that is. Let's take these little bits off. Just need a little background. I think I need a little bit of something on the back. So this is so pretty. I want it to all sort of like blend in as well, so I want to use the same sort of bits of fabric in here. And we'll just sew a little bit of this on. Just, I mean, just sort of gather these little pieces up. Oops. Don't want it all, I just want a little bit of. There we go. So that will just sew on there. Then my little pocket. Maybe I'll put that like that. See, that's lovely. Pin this on. So this would go, this was one in the middle, wasn't it? So that could probably go like that. No, I think I'll have a plainer one here, like that. This could go on there, like this. This one would sort of go in the middle, like that. So this is the sort of thing, so just open that up and you've got this beautiful little pocket there. This opens up. This can be the middle, so I need to put something in that one. But I think that will look really nice, won't it? But then I kind of like this pocket. I think that's too far at the back. But anyway, guys, you get the idea, don't you? I hope. This is the sort of thing I would like to do. So what should we put on this one? Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do little bits and pieces anyway. There's another little bit of this. We've got a little bit of pink. This could go on here. I'm not sure about, I did think about doing some embroidery thread on here, but I'm not sure yet. Not sure whether I will. What do you think? If I put some, where's my lace? Here's my lace. Got some beautiful lace in here. I want to use the vintage one. I use this one along here. I think that's too fancy. This is too fancy to go on there. I wouldn't really see this. I don't think this is dainty enough. Just I don't think it's sort of fine enough to go on here. Oh, look at that. That's got the little buttonholes. That would be quite nice on there. Just to tuck something in. Or maybe I will use this. Just on there. Down like that. That's pretty, isn't it? Like that. I do like that. So maybe I will. I don't suppose it needs to be all of that, does it? I'm going to chop this. I'm just going to chop into this. All the way down so we are straight. That can go back into there. Which is, that's the middle. It doesn't have to go on there. There we go. That can go on here. We shall just scrunch that a little bit so it's a little bit out. And then I need a little something on this bit, but I need a little bit of something like this, I think. So that gets this side. Maybe a little bit of this on there, just so we can mould this into each other. So I'm going to cut this around. There we go. Just a minute. So that little bit goes on there, and then this can sort of hang down. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? And we've got these little pink flowery bits. It needs something else on here, I think. Should we just pop this down on there? Doesn't have to go all the way down. I think we will have it there. Pop that back in. Then I need a little bit of this on here as well. I like this, the scruffiness. All these little sort of scrunched up little pieces. Because you can still see that pink underneath it. But I think I'm going to pop this, oopsie daisy, which way round's best? This way? On here. I don't mind if this hangs out either. So this can go on. This can go on there. Oops. Like this. Let's go this way. Pin that down. Like that, I think. Another little pin. See, these ones aren't very sharp. The big ones are really sharp. These are humongous, but they are very, very sharp. Let's just to give me an idea. Shall I put this like this? Or maybe that can come down. Which way round was it? It was this way, wasn't it? So let's just attach these together. Do like that. I'm going to take another big one and just pin this whole thing on there. My pinning isn't the best, guys. Look at that. See, that's lovely. So once that's sewn on, that will look really nice. So this is going to give me something to do this evening. Didn't quite catch that in there. Or later on today. Oh, I do like that. So that's another little page. Put that in there. Take these out. So lots of little pockets. So I think we need something. Could probably put something down the edge of that at the same time. Unless I just turn this around. This could sort of fold back into there, couldn't it? Like that. And we can add maybe we could add like a little corner pocket. Could probably add the whole thing along there. I do like the purple and the beige. This is a beige, beigey brown. This could come over. Right, I'm going to give myself some ideas. I'm going to just chop that off. Just so. This comes out. So when I sew them, they obviously are going to be sewn together. So let's just pin that on there. Like that. So that goes through both. This little one doesn't want to be pinned on there, does it? I'm just going to take that. You can stick on there for a second. Right. What do you think, guys? Do you think this is going to work? I think this is going to work really well. I know that doesn't go there, but I think that's going to look lovely. Need a little bit more brown in here now. So we've had enough pink. We need a little bit more of the beigey bits. Oh, look at that. Okay, fab. Right, I don't want this video to be too long, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just leave it there. I will sew these little bits in, because I'm obviously going to do them by hand, and then, because you don't need to see me sew them, but loving that one, loving that one. So I'll sew all these in, and then I will come back. I will probably do a little bit more on it as well. I'll add a few bits and pieces to it, and then I will come back and show you how far I've got. But today was just sort of like showing you that we've got this stiffener, which is, you know, it's one of those things. Do you really like it? Do you want them stiff? The pages need to be stiff, definitely, but I'm really not sure about this. This has gone like really too hard. Don't know, I still want the pages. It feels too rough, so I'm going to soak these. This one is not too bad. I think I'll leave that one, but I'm going to soak some of these and see if I can take it out. But I think this will go nicely on a page. So anyway, guys, that's how I've done what I've done so far. So rummage this out as well, because like I said, I'm going to be using this in the in the Shabby Saturday video at the weekend. And then I think you could probably use, if you've got Mod Podge, I think that probably works as well. Probably not as good. I don't think it's going to make it so hard. If you wanted to make sort of like a little bowl or something, I don't think it would make it that hard, but it might. And I like the way it doesn't get caught in the holes, because I did use Mod Podge. I have tried Mod Podge before, years ago, and you get like a film through the little holes, and I don't like that because you'd have to sort of like keep poking it through, but this comes out really kind of hard. So whether we use this in there, I'm not sure. I might need to get used to this. We shall see. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Do pop along to the Etsy shop and have a little peek at these dragonflies. I've got an idea for these as well, which I'm sure you're going to love. I've wanted some dragonflies for ages, but I could never find any that I really wanted. So a lot of the dragonflies are just quite bizarre, but I'm loving these. So we designed these. So hope you like them. I do hope you like them. So I'll pop the link underneath anyway. So do take care, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. All right, guys. Bye-bye.